Has an auxiliary handle, so it's pretty comfortable to use. And made a couple passes on it, and it was like brand new stainless when it was done.
Hey, what's up? Barnaby here. You want to know more about the Fine Pipe Sander set? Well, it's got a 3 1/4 amp motor. It's capable of sanding from 5/16 to 3 1/8, and it's got 6 speeds. But what we like to do is put tools like this into the hands of people that really know what they're doing, so they can tell us what the tool is all about. In this case, it's Tom Goal. So what do you do for a living?
I'm a welder fabricator. I have a shop downtown Grand Rapids called 120C Welding and Fabricating.
Okay, so what sort of things do you weld up?
It's mostly just general fabrication, parts and pieces for industry and things that you would never see, you know.
Okay, so when we put this tool into your hands, tell us about how it all went for you. I mean, it's a pretty specialized tool.
Yeah, it really is, and it's something that I knew existed but had never actually used one. But the moment I got it, I just took it out, and it was obvious how it runs. It has emery. It also has Scotch-Brite attachments. You don't need any tools to put the grits in it, which is real nice. Has an auxiliary handle, so it's pretty comfortable to use. It's a heavy tool, but it needs to be. Has a simple switch on it with a delay. It doesn't just fire right up. So when you turn it on, it hesitates for a second, and then the motor engages.
Okay, so that's billed as a bit of a safety switch?
Yeah, and it's also, if it had a trigger, you'd be stuck with your hand in one spot all the time.
Okay.
So there was some thought into who's going to use it.
Right, and what'd you use it for?
I used it on, initially, just some cold roll steel pipe that was in the rack that was rusty, and we clamped it up and put some 120 grit, and made a couple passes on it, and it was like brand new stainless when it was done.
Yeah, how would you have done it previously?
We'd just get a roll of emery paper and just wrap it around it, and manually pull the paper around the tube and spend hours.
Right, as opposed to?
As opposed to seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning curve with it?
I didn't have a learning curve with it. I started grabbing things off the rack. I grabbed a motorcycle tank that had lots of large radiuses on it. And it was rusty, had been stripped of paint. Started hitting the radiuses with that, and it brought it down to bare metal, and it was really nice. I did some fork legs from a motorcycle that were very old, that needed that same, polishing, and it was clean, new aluminum in seconds.
Wow, so it'll take the nasty stuff off, but it'll also put a nice finish on
It'll put
stuff.
a nice finish, yeah.
Yeah. 6 speeds, did that come into play for you?
It did, but I didn't, I think the slower speeds, maybe for the heavier grime, or maybe if you join a tube and it's welded, you're going to put a heavier grit paper in it, turn the speed down, and actually grind that weld down.
Yeah.
And then go to a higher grit paper and turn the speed up and get more of a polish to it. So.
Did it come with any extra sandpaper or the bright?
The box was filled with it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Wow, all this came with it?
All of that, yeah. Had 4 rolls of emery, 4 10 packs, and then a handful of the Scotch-Brite belts.
Yeah.
So that was pretty surprising.
Yeah. Well, so where do you figure you're going to get the replacement belts for it?
I'm thinking at a industrial supply.
Okay.
Maybe a welding supply or something like that.
All right.
It's not going to be...
Your local big box?
No, not.
Okay. And then the cord, a lot of people talk about the cord being an important consideration because you don't want to just be kind of caught short with a tool.
Yeah.
Enough cord for you?
More than enough, yeah. Probably 10 feet.
Okay. Well, if somebody came to you, Tom, and asked you, should I buy this tool or not? You've used it for a bit. What would you tell them?
I'd say you're going to have to justify buying it with a job, a large job, because it's an expensive tool, but it takes time off the job and puts money in your pocket. So you just have to okay, yeah, I have a big job, I got a lot of polishing to do. It's worth it, absolutely.
Cool, all right. Well, it's always good to get some insight from a person that knows what they're talking about, somebody with experience with the tool that you're thinking about, and that's what you're always going to get right here at toolselect.com.